Greetings, fellow traders. So let me get this tweeted out so everybody join in here. 1 second. Da, 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 da. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So we had a Fed day today, and we got a little bit more. We got a little bit of chop, a little bit of chop. But maybe we'll get a little bit of direction. We'll take a look at that and see how the futures are looking here this evening in a little bit, and see what might be setting up going in tomorrow. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look at continuing our series here on understanding Wolfe waves, and today we're going to be talking about the sweet zone. So good stuff there. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, let's check and see where we left off. Well, first what we're going to do is we're going to check and see where we left off in the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going in tomorrow. And then we'll go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right. So let's take a look at SPX here. So SPX again, guys, fresh. Choppy day today, right? Down 3 points here today, still over the upper Bollinger Band, right? But we got fresh all-time highs. And look at the weekly chart. Look how thin this is so far. I mean, this is just the narrowest range week, I think, ever, right? So far, 25 points. Now, we got a couple days left in it. We'll probably get a little bit of follow-through on that one. This was 43 points here. This one was in the prior never-ending grind up, was 36 points. Wait, this one right here was 27 points. So we're pretty close. With 25 points. So we'll see how that goes. But again, guys, it's looking like a little bit of a bearish divergence right here. Again, extended here at the upper Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. And definitely extended over your weekly cloud. So again, a lot of caution up here. And we're not the only ones that are saying caution, right? The fact that the market is not just plowing up, just like ripping to the upside shows that there's a lot of other cautious traders out there too. Because I mean, we're just like, okay, what are we waiting for? Right, what's going on? Right, that type of thing, right? So we have to be a little bit cautious off of that. But one of the cool things, anyway, so let's take a look at the intraday chart and see how that's going here. So we've got basically 3 super duper choppy days in a row. We are still above the 80 MA, so that is good for the bullish camp, right? So we'll see how that holds as long as we can stay over the 80 MA, right? Things are generally looking bullish. We did hit fresh all-time highs today. Doesn't feel that way with kind of a gravestone doji, right? But again, it's still a pretty narrow range day here. So, but we'll see where we go from there. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at the Elliott wave count, guys. So there's a couple different bullish counts that we can do on this one. One of the ones that's on here is this ABC 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of maybe 1, 2. And then we'll see if we get a wave 3 up, right? Another way to look at it is we could relabel this, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But this could be an A, B, C, and this could be wave 1, 2, and we could be working on a larger wave 3 up, right? So let's continue to keep an eye on that and see how that wave goes. But again, if we do start, we'll talk about a compressed range right here over this week, right? Very, very tight range. When was the last time you saw this, right? Maybe this triangle, right? And then we started to kind of just drift up off of that, right? So other than that, we don't see that type of sideways price action very often, right? Even here, at least we got a gap down and then a reversal back up, right? I mean, this is just straight sideways action, right? Just really, really wild stuff. It's like the market's like, I'm just going to go sleep up here at all-time highs. It's, it's fun up here. So anyway, so we'll keep an eye on that and see where it goes going into the rest of the week. Other than that, let's take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So we are up 10 points. So, okay, so they're generally looks like they're trying to grind their way higher. So good stuff there. Again, today, guys, today was Fed day, right? So we were expecting a lot of chop this week, right? We're also waiting for a little bit of a move from Apple, which had earnings after hours today too. And Apple looks like they're pushing up here a little bit after hours, so that's kind of helping the market a little bit here. So we just want to keep an eye on it and see how we go this evening. We're kind of retesting these highs. We got fresh all-time highs here today, so we'll adjust that for our group tomorrow morning. But it seems to be grinding its way up. We got a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So we'll see if that tries to continue to work its way up. But other than that, guys, we'll see how it goes. Again, Apple, let's take a look at that real quick. Apple, again, had a nice pusher there, but kind of fading a bit, right? So a nice push up. Tweezer tops, too. Look at that. It kind of fading a bit, right? So it actually looks like it could, unless it gets super strong tomorrow morning, right, it actually might turn into a fade trade, kind of like AMD was today, right? AMD was, we talked about this in the bubble report today, just a nice fade here today. Very, very nice on AMD, right? But Facebook seems to be holding up the FANG names right now. So so far hanging on to a very, very nice gap up here. Looks like it's going to hit all-time highs tomorrow, and it could be a gap and go contender. So just wanted to point those out here this evening. So anyway, cool stuff. So so let's take a look here. So actually, it's kind of interesting, but I do want to show this. So give me 1 second right here. Let me pull something up. In fact, this makes up. Facebook has an excellent example of this. Hold on. Let me get this here. Here. 4. Okay. Yep. Good. Yep. 2 to 4. Okay. Cool. And then here. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Cool. So, so good stuff. All right. So today, guys, let's go back to the topic and take a look at what we're talking about here. So today we're going to be going over understanding Wolfe waves. We're going to continue our series on understanding Wolfe waves. So we talked about Wolfe waves this week, and we introduced it with the basics. Yesterday, we talked about trend lines and how a lot of times these are designed for reversals, right? And today we're going to be talking about a really cool part, basically kind of honing in on entries. And today we're going to be talking about the sweet zone. Okay, so let's kind of go over that here real quick, and I'll use Facebook as an example here on the 5-minute chart in a minute, and I'll show you guys kind of what I'm talking about, and then we'll see if there's another example out there from one of the ones we talked about yesterday. I think AAL is a possibility, but just to kind of go over this again with what a Wolfe wave is, right? And a Wolfe wave is brought to us by Brian Wolfe, right? So a nice concept that he worked on here for a while after 40 years of trading, and really came up with a pretty cool concept where he found this tended to be an interesting reversal area. And so one of the cool things that I like about it is just kind of how simple it is. It looks a lot like a harmonic, and really what we do is we look for for instance a bullish wave, right? Where he came up with this based on the appearance of he loved the falling wedges, right, and the rising wedges, and he wanted to find a way to capitalize on these, right? So on a bullish wave, right, we look for wave 1 would start, say it came down in here, so here's your kind of your wave 1, right, and then your wave 2 came up here, wave 3 has to go beyond wave 1, wave 4, right, and wave 5, right, and then you look to get the reversal up, and typically he looks for a target here, right, where where wave 1 intersects the wave 4 top, right, and right, it looks for a target there, and it looks for the time that it gets there as to where that's the estimated price of arrival. This is the estimated time of the arrival, where we get to the apex of the falling wedge. So pretty cool stuff there. So that being said, today we're going to talk about the sweet spot, right? So for the sweet zone for finding entries on this. So what's really cool about this is finding the entries. What you wanted, what he says is basically let me label these here so you can kind of see it. So you got this wave 1 right here, wave 2 right here, wave 3, wave 4, okay, wave 5. And a lot of times, right, wave 5 will basically just hold this geometric line, and you can look for an entry off of that geometric line, or you can look for like the next strong candle, say off of it to try to work its way up. But he's very in his ebook or in his presentation on it. It basically Brian Wolfe talks about that. Hey, this he's kind of a practical trader. He's like, look, if things start to turn against you, get out, right? And it's really all about refining the entry and having like a good mental toughness, for when these things go, right? That's kind of the idea, and to say like, hey, these things work, and look for the consistency of it. Now, there's certain conditions out there that probably make things better than others, but one of the things he talked about is the sweet zone. And the sweet zone basically is where you take a channel, right? So you take it from your 2 to your 4 wave here, and you stretch it back down to your 1 wave. And what he's saying is this is kind of like your line in the sand area right here for a wave 5, because a lot of times these overshoot, wave 5 overshoots. So if you can buy wave 5 in here, or possibly even at the channel bottom, right, you can get a nice move up. And I know it's like, all right, well, it's a Wolfe wave, isn't that just kind of like a channel trade? Yeah, except it's a little bit different, right, because wave 3 didn't tag the channel, right? So it's a little bit different from that. But he's looking for somewhere in here to get a move, and a lot of times the crossover back through this geometric line right here, which could have been resistance, ends up being a nice kind of momentum breakout move right there to get to the target point. So that's basically what he's looking there for the sweet spots to try to get those. So let's take a look. Actually, here's an example. A pretty interesting example here of Facebook. If we just go back here to the 23rd, I'm going to take extended hours off on this one, and I'm gonna remove this example. So hopefully you guys all remember that perfectly there. So let me get this here. here. So that's the idea, is basically just putting a channel on it between 2 and 4 and looking for an entry, if we overshoot that channel. That's the sweet zone is in there. So I'm going to take off extended hours on this, and I'm going to go back and show you here on the 23rd. There's kind of a crazy Wolfe wave on here that basically started on the 23rd. So let me see, where is this? Let's go back here. Let me get a clean slate here for us here. Okay, so where are we? We're back here. Okay, so yeah, so this is interesting, right? So here, right, we had this nice push up right here. So you definitely see that this was a, kind of the start of something right here, and you can see the extension off of it, right? So we have this wave 2, this wave 3, and why was this a good wave 3? Because it got over the top of wave 1, right? And wave 4, well, because it stayed within wave 2, right? And so this is one of the things about it. Now look, check out the overshoot on this one, right? So what he's saying is that this is the area for the buy, right? So let's take this here. I'm going to take a channel and put it here, okay, and I'm going to put it over here, right? And let me draw the wave. Let me draw the Wolfe wave here. So you got here to 3, right? And then here to 4. So there's basically your, well, I mean, obviously it'd be about the same, it'd be the exact same thing. So so that's the idea right here. So here's your rising wedge, right? And this had a huge overshoot, right? So now, is he saying that, hey, we would look to get in here off this candle? Maybe, right? If we broke down, but basically this is the sweet spot, right? The sweet zone right in here, right in that channel, right? So it never happened, but it did overshoot quite significantly, right? So what he would do is he would look for reversal signals and a breakdown, right? We actually never got a breakdown here. So this is one that just because it was a bearish candle doesn't mean it started to move, right? We never pushed below these lows, right? And then you had this big move right here, right? And everything looked good. And they did a breakdown candle right here, didn't break below it, right? It wasn't until, wait, we got this candle right here, right, where things started to break down, right? Because you can see here we had, oops, activate the area there. We had this, and then we had we had increasing volume on this candle here too, right? So this shows that, hey, this thing might really be looking for a reversal. So that was a huge push above a clear Wolfe wave, right? But an entry not until way beyond the overshoot. So we don't just want to buy it just because it tags the top of these geometric lines, right? We want to look for it for a potential trade, right? Now, did this thing end up doing the full move to the downside? No, right? So this one went from here, right, to wave 4, right? So the expected target would be here, right? And it just never got there. But I mean, tell me, is this not a fantastic trade, right? To get from here even back to the wave itself, to the Wolfe wave itself? Yeah. So that ends up being a really, really nice move, 304 down to 301 there on Facebook. So that's an example of the overshoot and what we're looking for the sweet zone. Real quick, let's take a look at AAL from yesterday. We looked at this on the daily chart. Let me put this back here. So if we go here, I just want to go back and see what we were seeing. Yeah, so here we go on the daily chart. So we drew this yesterday. I just want to see if we did get an overshoot on this. Give me 1 second. Let's go. Where's my cool stuff? Here we go. Back here. So yeah, so we did not actually get an overshoot on this one. It ended up being like almost a perfect Wolfe wave on this one. So I was looking to see, but if we were going to look for the sweet zone on this one, all we would do is take this, right? I know it was a horrible drawing last time, but we take this and then we go back to the wave 1 start, right? And this was where we would look for the potential for an entry somewhere in this zone here. But we ended up bouncing off of it and still getting a great move off of it anyway. So we hit target and beyond, right? Pulled back, retested the target, and still kept going. So anyway, that's what he's looking for when he's talking about the sweet zone. And so keep an eye on that. So basically the concept is, when you can identify a Wolfe wave, also draw a channel around it to look for that key entry. So anyway, good stuff. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we could all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. And wow, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, guys, after these earnings. And Amazon reports tomorrow. And once Amazon's done, that's the majority of the FANG names are behind us. And it's so funny every time we get into earnings week. It's like, yeah, earnings week is coming up. All right, it's going to be awesome. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, it's just choppy. And then we had Fed this week. Oh, Fed's coming up. It's just choppy. And then it's just like, oh, and now the premiums are so high. Let's wait till earnings is over so we can trade again, right? That type of thing. So anyway, good stuff. Shirley sent a few in here via email. Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. So yeah, GSX is looking very interesting, right? So let me get this switched over here. Sorry guys, I was just pulling up the pulling this up here. Zoom. Okay, cool. So yeah, so GSX, really, really interesting move right here. This thing's been consolidating for a while. This one got crushed, right, off of the overexposure from Archegos, right? So this one, right, Vayak, right, and both of those names gapped up here this morning too. So some good volume here. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this and see if this thing's ready to go. Now, technically, right, we've got kind of it's range bound within here. Right, so let's just kind of see how that holds. If we can get a nice big green candle out of here, right, it might be getting ready to get back to the 50-day moving average and possibly work its way up to the gap there. So we got that going on, and that would definitely keep it real, right? So we've got real here, real with a nice strong candle here through the cloud, right, with increasing volume. So yeah, so it looks pretty bullish here on real. So definitely want to keep an eye on there too. Other than that, let me just adjust this chart over here so I make sure I see everything. Okay, cool. Good. And then PXD, let's take a look. So PXD with a big push here through the cloud, right? So nice move there. Again, decent move, kind of over the geometric line, increasing volume. Let's see if that can get some follow through the upside. Nice find on that one. Interesting one. TCOM. Yeah, so guys, this is not a telecommunications company. Just want to let you guys know. It's a travel company in China. So don't trade this one when the pandemic is just coming out. Okay, anyway, so it's been channeling down here for a while. It had a nice breakout candle right here. Looks like you kind of got a measured move up today. So just continue to look at it, see if it gets a push to the upside. But I think that was probably its first initial move. So see how it handles any pullbacks on that one. MDLZ. Let's take a look. Mondelez. Okay, this is a wild name right here. But just a little bit of caution here. But kind of triangulating here. So just see how it holds a nice gap over there after earnings here. So see if it can kind of get above those highs and see if it gets going off of that. But otherwise, watch that upper shadow. So good stuff there. Bullish bearish trades, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, so Boeing. So again, down after earnings. Imagine that. So we actually thought it would go up for some reason. Not that we'd gamble on that or anything like that, but it just were like, okay, wouldn't be surprised if Boeing did it. So now that it didn't do it, right, the real question is, where are we, right? So, is this original zigzag that we were talking about done, right? And it's possible that it's not, right? So we might still see a symmetrical move down here, right? I've still got this symmetrical line which hasn't been taken out yet here, and we could possibly move it here, right? This could still be A, B, C correction, right? We still could see a symmetrical move down here to kind of test these prior lows. So let's see if it's gearing up for that or not, right? We're kind of hanging at these levels, but I would look to see if it does pull back to this area right here, right? Into this zone here, that 210-2 area. I would look for a bounce out of there. I would look for a bounce out of there, come back to the cloud, that type of thing. So cool stuff there. LMT, let's take a look. LMT. Yeah, so LMT, guys, inside day. Could be gearing up for a move. We talked about it today, this morning in the bubble report, right? So watch for this 382 retrace inside day up if it can take that out tomorrow. Now, again, guys, LMT is a difficult name to day trade, right? So just keep an eye on it right here. But if it does break out this inside day high, we can see if it tries to work its way up at least to the recent highs. So good stuff there. And then JP Morgan, let's take a look. So JP Morgan looking interesting. It looks like, to me, a lot of these names look like they're working on kind of these harmonic moves potentially, right, to the downside. So a lot of these bank names have had such a big run up, right? So you can kind of see this right here, right, this, and this looking very harmonic-like, right? You can kind of see that butterfly type move. Okay, so just a little bit of caution here on JP Morgan if it does want to take this harmonic down. It almost projects it down to the 200-day moving average. So keep an eye on that one too. So pretty interesting stuff. Otherwise, right, watch this potential triangle here. Right, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, because you got the wave 3 less than 5. Right, so maybe right if you channel this down, right, this could be working on a Wolfe wave. Right, so it's not it's basically not after a trend line. Right, but you got this going here. Right, so you got this here. Right, so look for also if they do decide to rally, see if that gives you a like kind of a interesting sweet zone pullback off of that. So cool stuff there. Keep an eye on that, kind of a little bit of a falling wedge-ish type move. But otherwise, watch the watch the harmonic. Lots of stuff in play there. So cool stuff. Bob, what's going on? Shop. Yes, one of my favorite names today. I mean, incredible, guys. I mean, up 131 points today. Right, and not only did it gap up, right, significantly, but then it pushed up, right? Today's range was 100 points, so it gaps up 30, 40 points, and then it gives a 100-point move, right? Really incredible stuff here today. Big breakout move on Shopify, and just really, really cool stuff here. So, again, let's see if it continues to work its way upside. I'm still pretty bullish on it going into tomorrow, but very, very difficult name to trade. JMIA. Let's see. So JMIA hanging in there, right? So it gave us a nice push here off the inside day. We liked it this day right here. Had a pretty strong day 2 days ago, right? And just didn't really get much follow through. Got a little bit of a gap up and kind of pulled back here. But I like how it's at the 80 MA. Let's see how it holds. I like how it pulled back on low volume. So let's see if it's getting ready to go there too. Other than that, let's take a look at Unity. So this one's getting interesting here too. I think it's a great find. Kathy's been buying this up like crazy. Unity, and she hasn't made a purchase on this in a while because she's been buying a lot of coin. Very, very interesting kind of consolidation zone here. Very, very tight, decent candle here today. Maybe get into the cloud, maybe get some volume, maybe get a little bit of an earnings run. Very, very. I like how Kathy likes this name because they're kind of the backbone to a lot of video games and stuff like that. So we'll see how that will go. We'll see how it holds. Good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at it. Thanks, Bob. Amazon, let's take a look. So Amazonius, let's see how that's looking right here, guys. Earnings tomorrow, right? Earnings tomorrow. So, it's so close to all-time highs. It's hard to imagine that they're going to miss on earnings. So the real question is what's the chart going to do after earnings, right? So we're probably pretty sure that they're going to beat, right? But we've seen a lot of names beat and go down, right? So the real question is, right, are they going to go up and have some like crazy awesome guidance? And the real thing that we're really waiting on now, because it's kind of hyped up, is are they going to announce a potential stock split? Right, if they announce that on the earnings call tomorrow, this thing could really rip. Right, as soon as Jazzy takes over. So we'll see how that goes. That could be an interesting one there too. So let's see. But I'd be really careful into earnings on that one. I mean, if they do announce a split, this thing could really rip. So I'd just be careful too if you guys are selling premium as well. Save. Let's take a look. So Save, we kind of drew this diamond right here. Big volume pullback right there off of that prior geometric line. So a little bit of caution there off of Save. Very, very interesting. Good find on that one. Yeah, I don't know what's going to save right here. I mean, it's got, it could easily test this 33.75 area, 33.80. So if it continues to push down, looking pretty rough. McRuff. So good stuff there. Jameis, what's going on? Good to see you. Long time to see you. Hope you're doing well. Say look at Tesla. So Tesla, yeah. Again, guys, I'm still have this projected zigzag move, right? So we kind of had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, right? 1, 2, maybe wave 3, right? We're definitely starting to see some action here. Not getting a lot of volume here after earnings, which was interesting, right? But Tesla just likes to move on its own. Right, so but anyway, interesting stuff there. So again, still looking at a projected move down to the gap fill, right, or at least the bow and arrow support right there at the prior triangle breakout. So we'll see how it goes. Not saying it's going to go down that much tomorrow, but definitely keeping an eye on this one. And Roy, what's going on? So very similar to Tesla is Roku, right? The symmetrical move down takes us back to a major pivot level right here. So we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2. Watch out, right? So a little bit of caution of that. Again, earnings coming up. This wave, this concept could be completely invalidated. But earnings next week, if it kind of chops around, right, starts to work its way down, that could really, if it gaps down significantly, that could really confirm a nice wave 3 down, and we could look for a potential projected move on that symmetrical move down to this level right here. So we're going to track that for sure. So good stuff there. Awesome. Appreciate it. And then, so we got Netflix too. We just looked at Boeing, but we'll take a look at that one again too here. But Netflix. So Netflix getting really, really tight here. Still in the trend box area. Again, guys, this thing is looking far from bullish right now. It's not super duper bearish because there's a lot of support down here, but we're just kind of chopping. For me, I'd rather see it, kind of make a test of the trend box low. Right? And then maybe see if we can get a bounce off of that for Netflix. Netflix is such a wild name. Sometimes it gives us a couple of nice little day trade moves, but that's about it. Boeing, interesting rejection here, right? So we talked about this one here just not too long ago, just a little bit ago. It could be another potential. It could be working on a potential symmetrical move down here. I'm going to look for a potential dip buy in this area around this kind of 210 area if it does pull back. So maybe for a bounce back up, at least to maybe another 10-point move or something like that. So keep an eye on Boeing. We'll see how that goes. Good stuff, Roy. Appreciate it. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. AMD with a bearish engulfing day. Woo! I think we talked about this. We talked about it in the group, right? Look at that last bearish engulfing day. Look at that last bearish engulfing day. Down. Bearish engulfing day. Down. Big bearish engulfing day. We'll see. It's a high probability downside mover. We'll see how it goes here today. It's got potential to it, so we'll see how it handles it. Nasty reversal, but we did call this one out in the bubble report today, and what a big move to the downside on that. Really, really cool stuff. BTX, let's take a look at BTX. Woo! Brooklyn Immuno, I love it. What a push there incredible, incredible move. Wouldn't be surprised if it gave a little bit of a pullback on it, right? So maybe a pullback to like the 30 area or something like that. But huge candle on that one too. Big volume on that. Very, very nice find on that too. And then ETH, let's take a look. Guys, crypto going nuts. Incredible move right here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Careful, it could be doing a Wolfe wave up here. Right, it could be doing a Wolfe wave. So you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Potential, right? So it's kind of got this type of feel to it. It's not hugely. It looks more like a channel anyway. So the one overrode this, but if this were a little bit, if this didn't have this undershoot right here, that would look a lot prettier, right? It would look a lot more rising wedge-ish, but just kind of keep the wicks in there. So see how it goes, but it is Ethereum still pushing its way up, so very, very nice. Again, you gotta love it. You gotta love these cryptos. So Krishna, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at CRM. So CRM, look at that, guys. Top of the channel to you. Wow. Intense. So this is a very, very interesting area for CRM. Definitely keep an eye on this one. I'm going to activate this, push this over here, and see how it handles this level, right? So, you found it. Let's see. Let's see if it holds this, if it can break out of this channel. If not, look for a potential here to the downside, maybe in an earnings. So that would be very interesting. Keep an eye on that for CRM. BABA, let's take a look. But if it breaks out of the channel, right, that could be bullish. It could be this massive bull flag, right? So BABA. So BABA gave us a gap up today. We were pretty bullish on it. It's a little bit sketchy, the 50-day moving average, so it came back and retested it, right? But it did give us a nice push to the upside here this morning. We talked about it last night here. Anyway, let's see how it goes, see how it holds the 50-day moving average, and if it kind of hang there and kind of keep going. So maybe just a retrace. We'll see how that goes here for BABA. Good stuff there. And what else? Snap. Let's take a look. Snap attack. So Snap, guys, earnings coming up. We already had earnings, so we're good there. Let's take a look here. So basically just triangulating, getting really, really tight. So just see how it holds that range, see if we can break out of it one way or the other on that. So good stuff there. What else? NNDM. Let's take a look. NNDM, yeah, just completely rejected. We talked about this last night too. Yeah, rejected by the 50-day moving average. Kind of holding the 80 MA right now, but any higher volume breakdown could be kind of nasty for it. RBLX, let's take a look. Roblox, yeah. So it did give a nice push here today. Then kind of calmed down. It was beautiful at the open. It's like, yeah, Roblox. And it's like just kind of hanging in there. So, but hanging in there, right? So it's still over the inside day high, and it tested the 80 MA. So let's see if it can continue to try to grind its way up. So good stuff there. Great stuff, Krishna. Appreciate it. Thomas, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Riot. So Riot, decent inside day up here today too, right? So a little bit of a pullback here after hours. But hanging in there. So back over the 80 MA with some increasing volume. So I like that. So let's see if that continues to get some upside. AI, let's take a look. AI, looking interesting. Looking interesting. Hanging on to the 80 MA so far, right? I'd like to see some volumes to try to get up to 50-day moving average, right? So here goes there. BMBL. Yeah, Bumble Inc. Okay, yeah, big candle today, right? Volume's okay, or it's kind of tapering down here since it opened, but it's hanging in there. And then what else we've got? Bumble, and then Tesla. We looked at Tesla already, guys. So again, projected move potentially for that gap fill down there. For the symmetrical move down. We'll see how it goes there for Tesla. So other than that, obviously they can buy the dip anytime they want to, but that's looking pretty interesting for Tesla. Tracy, what's going on? Long time no see. I hope you're doing great. Let's take a look at QCOM. So QCOM here, earnings after hours, right? Yeah, look at that. Big gap up here so far. Let's take a look. Let's get this here, and here. Yeah, so gapping up right to the top of the cloud. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a fade on this one, but a nice gap up. If you're in it, nice job there. Just keep stops tights tomorrow. Stops tights. Calyx, nasty bearish engulfing candle right there. Pulling back here to the cloud. So see how that holds. And then AMKR. Let's take a look. AMKR with a lower shadow at the cloud right here. Might try to hold. So let's see if we can continue to hold that as support. Could be interesting. Krishna, CRM is a good example for a Wolfe wave for a falling wedge. Nice. Yeah, CRM, let's take a look. What time frame are we looking at here? Oh, yeah. It definitely has a few of them right here, right? You kind of have this, 1, 2, 3, type-ish move, right? A couple of different wedges on this one, but very, very nice stuff. Yeah, good stuff there. I love it. And Michael, so XXII, let's take a look. Biden to ban menthol cigarette. I know. Yeah, this is a couple days ago where it ripped on that news. It's like banning menthol cigarettes, but let's legalize weed and right and what else? What else? And sports betting, right? And sports betting. So that's cool. Anyway, so good stuff there. Anyway, bounce off the ADMA here today. Let's see if this XXII can get going. So Michael, so are the bears hunting for Aunt Kathy's holdings? Pretty much. It seems like they are, right? But they can't keep a company down forever. They can keep the stock price down temporarily. The only question is, right, Kathy's got a 5-year time horizon. The only question is do her investors have that same type of horizon? So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, good stuff there. So Creighton, what's going on? You made it. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. UPST, let's take a look. UPST with a couple upper shadows here to the ADMA. And so let's see how that holds there. It's looking a little bit, a little bit rough. So, but hanging in there. Futu, this one got clobbered right the other day, but it seems to be grinding its way up. It was a bullish move up, bearish move down. And it's kind of grinding its way up here off of that. So just be a little bit careful on it. I would check your Fibonacci's, right, and just kind of see how it reacts to those levels. We got a little bit of volume coming in here today, but here to here, right, we haven't touched the 618 yet. So just a little bit of caution there on Futu. Shop, let's take a look. So Shop, beautiful, right? Nice move right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some follow through. So very, very nice move on that one. Strong move. TMO, remember we looked at this one forever. We were checking this one out back here, and it broke out and did great. Came back down again, consolidated, right? Mark up, right? Accumulation, mark down. Right, I'm sorry, distribution, mark down. Accumulation, mark up. Right, distribution, right? So a little bit of caution here. Possible double top, but see if it chops around here, and then if it wants to work its way back down to those levels again. So a little bit of caution there. Vive, let's take a look. Vive. So Vive over the ADMA, rising ADMA on this one. So let's see how that goes. Holding on to the cloud. Let's see if we can push above these levels and see if we can get going here. Vive's a tricky one, right? So it used to be pretty cool, but now it's getting really, really spready. Dominoes, wow. Big push up there. So let's see how if that can continue to get some upside here on the DPZ. Love, but just be careful with it. Might be getting ready for a retrace. Love with a huge move. We talked about this yesterday. Nice push there to the upside. Good follow through on that one. FLGT. Getting still really, really tight, so just waiting for it to make a move. MSTR. Tight again here too, but you got, like this 1, 2, 3, 4 lows right here, right? So see how those hold to see if it's ready to get going here on MSTR to see if it wants to get back into the cloud on that one. DXCM. Again, big push up right here. Again, that was a big move, right? So just watch out for the retrace. See if the retrace becomes viable. Just a little bit of caution off of this one, right? Looks like it's getting a little bit extended. And then APPN, let's take a look. APPN hanging in there, nice bounce off the 200-day, could be hanging in there, so good stuff there. And then SI, triple top off of this one here, right? So 1, 2, 3, and kind of working its way down. So it's it almost looks range bound, right? So you kind of see this kind of range right here. So I would just kind of keep an eye on it, see how it holds that range, and look for a breakout when we're there, or look for the next maybe strong close over the ADMA for another push to the top. So that can be interesting there too. Thomas, I missed you. I don't know how that happens. Sometimes No, I got all those. I did Riot, AI, Bumble, and Tesla. So we're good. I gotcha. Let's see. I did them all for you. Tracy, Twitter. Let's take a look. You can go back and go back through the replay. I went over those for you. So good stuff there. Tracy, yeah. So Twitter earnings coming up tomorrow after hours. Tomorrow after hours. It's getting really expensive, but it is up after hours in sympathy with Facebook. Right, so let's see if we can see the upside here, and let's see if they can beat on earnings and get a move. So let's see how that goes. Could be interesting. And then SM, let's take a look. So SM, wow, this really looks like a bull flag, doesn't it? So just really big push up right here, and definitely looking like it's flagging right here. So look for kind of a breakout of those levels right there. So let's see how that goes. JR, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at AA. A little Alcoa action. Again, these metal names have been so strong, right? We talked about this one, right? Wave 2-ish type move right here. I mean 3. This thing is just epic. It does look like a rising wedge-ish type move, so a little bit of caution there. If it decides to break down below these geometric lines here, right? So a little bit of caution off of that. Good stuff. And then Vale. So Vale, yeah, wow, big push there today. This thing's epic, right? Kind of triangulated here for a while. Kind of undershot that triangle and then really kind of ripped, right? So nice move there. Riot Keeper, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, JR. Appreciate it. Baidu. Let's say, look. Spider gets still choppy in this range right here. Just doing nothing right now. Let's wait for some action on it. right? So maybe in a couple days it'll get going here for us. Kaylee, what's going on? Good to see you. Roku. I think you missed our treatise on this one a little bit earlier, but looking at a potential pullback to this level right here. I know it's crazy, but it's a zigzag move, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potential. I'm not saying it's going to happen. We got earnings coming up soon. But if we get a gap down off of earnings, that could really signify that we're in a larger wave 3. Look for the pullback and then see if we can tag this level down here. That could be very, very interesting here for Roku. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, Netflix is still basically just chopping around. It is, just kind of hanging out. This is not really too exciting for me. I would look for maybe a dip buy here at the bottom of the trend box. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. So Creighton, doesn't the market have the feel it is waiting for Amazon to report? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of typical, right? When they do this, when a couple times Apple is fallen on Fed Day, right? So it's like you wait for Fed, okay, so we wait for Apple. It's like okay, let's wait for Amazon, right? So let's see what Amazon does. Might get a little bit of action, but I'd really like to see what they say, right? If they literally comment on the complete rumor that got Amazon up the other day that they might do a stock split. So that's kind of going to be the big news for that report. I don't think anybody cares about earnings anymore. Are they going to split or no? Right? And if they have great earnings, it'll probably go down. Right? But if they have good earnings and they announce a split, it could rip. So now the pressure's on them, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how they react to the rumor. Anyway. Good stuff, guys. Awesome show today. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We went over Wolfe Waves. We talked about the sweet zone. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. And whether you're new here or not, or if you're just watching the recording, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. We really appreciate it. So, Kaylee, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Creighton, guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.